Hey, you're listening to Don't Lie to Your Life Coach podcast with Kim Arrington. I'm Kim Arrington. I'm a life coach, a weight loss coach, an author, and a badass passionate about helping you connect back to your most authentic self. Join me here each week so I can coach you on how to think all those juicy thoughts that get you feeling your absolute best and taking some big ass action. Coaching has changed my life, and it can change your life too. I'm here to give you real life solutions to create a life you'll love. Because the truth is, boo, you ain't just got problems, you got options. Hey, y'all. Hey, can I ever say the hey without a laugh? I don't think I can. Hey, I'm so glad you're here with me today. Before we even get started, this week is the week for my weight loss class. Yay! If you want to be included in that weight loss class, you've got to go to kimarrington.com/free weight class. kimarrington.com/free weight class. Now, it's called 3 Secrets to Unstoppable Weight Loss for Women Over 40. It is going to be the most amazing 60 minutes of your life. It's going to be really good. We're going to talk about all the things, the lies that we hear about weight loss and how to look at things instead. And you got to get on that list to get the date and the time for that workshop. You're not going to want to miss it. You're not going to want to miss it, okay? It is free $99. That means it's free. So I'm really excited about that. Also, this is the church announcements. You already know we've been rocking. This is episode 71. We've been rocking for a long time. We're going to keep rocking together. Don't stop but keep rocking. Don't stop but keep rocking. I always get words not great. I want to help you solve what you think is unsolvable. I want to help you in your life to make it better. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. I was just talking to a high school friend and I was like, do you remember, I was never an athlete, but now I am. I was never an athlete in school. I was always the artist. And I was like, do you remember Bigger, Faster, Stronger? Where athletes came and did training and they were helped to be better athletes. And so they were able to probably like I was there, I wasn't there, y'all, to like skill drill and really work where it would transfer to their athletic performance. I don't really know. Here's the thing. I want you to think about your life in that way of, bigger, faster, meaning you can get over things quicker, stronger, but still vulnerable. That's what I'm helping you do. If you want to be on my coaching docket for 2023 and 2024, you better get your cute ass to my website, kimarrington.com. Join the wait list. I am only taking 7 clients for the whole year. The whole year. So if you have been sitting on the sidelines, baby, come on to the fold. Come on to the fold, okay? And I think that's it. Today, I'm giving you a weight loss podcast. It's kind of been a minute. It's been a minute. You know what I always say, all the other podcasts can help you if you aren't on a weight loss journey. But if you're on a weight loss journey, all the other podcasts help you to know what you're eating about and how you can do things differently. And that's my approach to weight loss is let's handle the things in our lives. I call them spicy 3 issues that are bothering us. So we are not taking it to our plate. We don't want to take the battle to our plate. We want to feel like we can handle ourselves and make it through to, anything and eventually come back to who we really are. Homeostasis, our baseline, whatever you want to call it, your real you, your authentic self, your favorite you. That's what we want to get back to. So today we're going to be talking about unstoppable weight loss. Now, if you come to the masterclass, the 3 secrets are different, but I am wanting to warm you up a little bit about what unstoppable weight loss is. This podcast should actually be, sponsored by Merriam-Webster. Although the definition of unstoppable, were y'all in school where you were like, you can't use the word in the definition? So the definition of unstoppable is incapable of being stopped. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay, now let's look at stopped. Incapable of being stopped. And let's look at what stop is. Put not in front of that. It can't, something that can't be filled or obstructive, something that can't be hindered or prevented the passage of, something that can't get in the way, something that can't be closed off or blocked off, something that isn't impassable, something that can't be covered up or filled in, something that doesn't have a particular cause to give up or a course of action to change. That is unstoppable. I use unstoppable. Y'all, I was an English major. If you listen to this podcast, you should know English major at the most incredible university in the whole world, the illustrious North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. I was an English major, and we found out what words were all about. Okay. And all the classics and African-American lit and world literature, all of that. Literature is always about trying to figure out this human condition, this humanity. What does it mean? Where are we at? Where is our place in this world? Where are we between the world and God? All those really small topics, right? So to make something unstoppable, and I'm going to use the example of going to NCCU just for a moment. Now, I've been reading my whole life. I'm a big time reader. I have switched now to listening to audiobooks because I can do a lot of things while I'm listening to the book. And I'm going to tell you the story. So I have been using natural deodorant. I know, right? I'm going to put the link in the podcast to the natural deodorant I use. And when I first started to use it about 15 years ago, it did not work. By the way, my natural deodorant tour was real spicy and real hot. And I'm not even a person who gets real musty easily under my arms. But years ago, I don't know, let's just make up 80 years ago, I tried this journey. I was trying different ones, and some of the deodorant would eat me up, especially if it had baking soda. It would like eat into my arms and cause rashes. But ironically, I did an internet search, and Erykah Badu, yes, Badu, that Erykah Badu is the person who solved my natural deodorant debacle. So she was on the Breakfast Club. Hello, white listeners. Do y'all know what the Breakfast Club is? Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, used to be Angela Yee. But basically, she was on one day talking about natural deodorant. I'm sure they were getting jokes about people who wear it. And she was like, y'all don't know how to do it right. What you got to do is wet your pits. You start with 100 strokes. And she said 100 is going to nobody is going to be musty at 100 strokes. And then every day you go down 10 strokes until you get to your number. I am a 20 to 30 stroke person. So you're like, oh my God, you take the thing. And if you're on YouTube, you can see this. By the way, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, tell some friends, put a comment about your natural deodorant journey. Otherwise, talk to the podcast. You could talk to the podcast, my other listeners. So you take it and you're like swiping back and forth, and you're moving along the avenue. And I just count. And I literally did that, started with 100, got to, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. Now, sometimes if I know it's going to be a long day, like today, I did 30. Okay. And sometimes I'm like, I might be out and it's real hot. I might I don't ever do 40. 30 is usually my max. It's customizable, right? But you have to try it. But she led me through a process. And this is something, I don't even know if I'm going to be real nice in this podcast. I had a podcast called I'm Not Going to Clap for You. And listen, y'all ain't never going to hear that podcast. It was just a little bit too nicey to me. It wasn't even nicey. It was nasty. It was a lot of frustration that I was feeling with y'all. and I let it out and I was like, let me handle this on my own. But I'm a little bit not understanding why y'all think y'all can figure out something by yourselves. Not only why you think you're going to figure it out by yourself, but why the hell do you want to figure it out by yourself when there are people who know better than you? I go to a gym because I don't want to know how to do this, that, and whatever. I get tennis instruction. Like, there are people, I know the value of investing in myself and my development by people who have already done what I've done and they do it way better. And I don't understand why y'all think, and I'm being super duper saying all of y'all, think you need to figure out everything on your own. And I'm not just talking about weight loss right now. I'm saying anything. If you don't understand love, get into a membership, go down a YouTube university hole of videos, read books, hire a love coach. Like, decades cost too. And for so many of us on weight loss journeys, we have been doing this for decades when somebody like me knows how to do it. So riddle me this. I have kept my weight off. I've kept it off. I know how to keep it off. And I want to be arrogant for a minute with that because most people gain their weight back in 2 to 3 years. And I'm never going to gain my weight back because I'm more not loving going back to being 265 plus pounds than where I am now. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go up 5 or 10 pounds sometimes, but like, hello, I'll take 5 or 10 pounds over 65 pounds. Okay. Or 75 pounds or 95 pounds. You need someone who knows how to do what you don't know how to do. And if it requires an investment, you're willing to do that. Like y'all, for a minute, what would be the number you'd be willing to pay if someone could solve weight loss for you? Think about it for a minute. Would it be 1,000? Would it be 10,000? Would it be 50,000? Would it be $900? Would it be $700? Like, something that has plagued you for decades. And let me just give my disclaimer because it's been a while. I haven't done a weight loss podcast. If you love your weight, don't lose it. If you feel good in your skin and is your most authentic self, do not lose it. Do I think everyone needs to go on a weight loss journey? Hell no. It's if you want to do it, if you feel compelled to do it. I don't have a problem with fatness. I center women who enjoy their fatness, who find the pleasure in their fatness. I'm here for it. In all shapes and sizes, I'm here for it. But if you want to go on a weight loss journey like I wanted to, because I didn't feel like it was my most authentic self, I also didn't think it was bad. I wanted something different, so I went and got it. And initially, I had people who helped me. And then I did what I do. I'm a coach, right? I did so much work and realized the things that they taught me that I wasn't really keen on. And then I created this thing for you called Half Life. As a matter of fact, every podcast is sponsored by Half Life, my weight loss program that helps women over 40. Let's talk about when's the last time you heard a weight loss program just say it's for women over 40. And by the way, y'all know my politic. Anybody's welcomed. I don't care who and how you describe yourself, but it was important for me. If you identify as a woman, whatever, but it was important for me since I was a woman and I was over 40 to create something different because I do think people who identify as men generally don't have some of the same stressors that we do. And they don't think about weight loss in the same way that we do. So that's why it's women. But please, everybody is welcome. Even if you're a man and you want to buy this, have at it. Prove me wrong. My point is that I knew that I needed to design something because what I was doing, I tried so many things. I needed to veer off to create something for you that worked. And here's the thing. Let me quiz you a little bit. I have all these frameworks, all this language I've created, all of this support. So have you designed methodologies for weight? Because I have. Have you designed, vocabulary that supports you? Do you know that I used to like when I worked at Duke, I worked with social psychologists, clinical psychologists. I'm not any of those. People who studied the brain, neuroscientists. I worked in a center that had I'm not going to say it because I ain't going to tell you the actual names that worked on substance abuse. You know how you go on Wheel of Fortune, they're like, I work for a big technology company. Well, I said Duke's name, but I'm not going to tell you where I worked, okay? But we dealt with addiction and all of that. I learned a lot about the brain. And I'm applying some of what I've learned about the brain to weight loss. Y'all don't know as much about the brain as I do. You do not. It's my little hobby to learn more about. Did you go online today and learn all the stuff about the brain? Because I did. And did it last week and this week and 3 days ago, because I'm intrigued by the brain's ability to free us, if we want to be free. If you want to get free, it's your brain that's going to help you do that. And I know how to do that better than anybody. Okay? Because I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a licensed social worker. I'm none of those things. But I'm a person who's had a weight loss journey. I'm a person who's overcome her trauma and continues to do so. And I'm a person who has brought all these unique things into being a coach. And I'll still say to a client sometimes, think you should see a therapist. Think you should talk to somebody about this. Like, I am here to help get you over a hurdle, not to give you a diagnosis. I can't legally do that, but to get you over a hurdle. You need some help getting over a hurdle. You got track coach Kim. So I want to tell you a little bit about what you don't know about human nature, which is another thing I've studied. I've been studying personal development since I was about 12 years old. Okay. Most people go on 126 diets in their lifetime, and most of them last for under 6 days. Most people who lose a large amount of weight have regained it in 2 to 3 years. 45% of people globally are currently trying to lose weight. That is half the daggone population. We just hit 8 billion. So around 3.5 billion people are on diets. That's a lot of people. But here's the thing. Because our bodies are wired for survival, when we intentionally eat less, it is seen as a threat to our brain. And your cravings and your metabolic, hormonal, and neurological cravings, changes will overwhelm you if you are using just willpower. You have to be able to use your consciousness. That's why you would have me. I have overcome. I do not subscribe to willpower.com. I don't do willpower. I have overcome that for consciousness. And the way that I teach weight loss builds in overeating, because y'all know my song, everybody overeats sometimes. Everybody does. Everybody. I've been giving y'all a lot of songs lately. So that's why you need an advocate, a guide, someone to help you. And I'm saying, like, in terms of investments, what's a couple of $100 or $1,000 when it's something that's been bothering you since you were 11? And to learn how to do it in a healthy way that centers yourself. Sign me up, coach. Put me in, coach. The reason why Half-Life has 13 videos is because I keep saying it a different way So your brain keeps breaking off a piece and going a little further in the journey. So while we're talking about that, let's hear from our sponsor, Half-Life Weight Loss. That's how y'all get this podcast for free. Let's hear it. Hey, I'm Coach Kim, and I'm your last weight loss coach. But I've cracked the code. 65 pounds of weight loss later, and I can teach you how to keep weight off, because I'm going to teach you all about the thing you really want, which is lasting weight loss. All about my weight loss program. It's called Half-Life Weight Loss. Learn how to stop overeating, lose weight, and gain yourself back for successful women over 40. And you better know successful is an acronym that we'll talk about all in my course. But here's the deal. With Half-Life Weight Loss, you're going to get 15 plus hours of instructional videos that you can listen to any time of the day or night. They're yours to listen to as you want. You're going to get a workbook that's going to help you answer all those questions to get you to lasting weight loss. Email support. Okay, I'm going to check in on you via email every now and then. An audio version of the course. So think about it. You're going to already get a video version, right, that you're going to be able to watch, but you're going to get an audio version to take with you on a walk or in the car or when you're doing the dishes. I'm also going to include a downloadable 75 things to do other than overeat, because with Half-Life Weight Loss, I have really 3 goals for you. Learn how to not overeat, which results in lasting weight loss if you continue. Learn all the other things you'd rather do than overeating, and learn how to remember who you truly are. All right, no one does it better than me. So I want to see you here to get it done. You to press go. I want you to do this for yourself. This is the best time to lose weight. You are the best version of you to lose weight, and I'm going to help you every step of the way. It's time to upgrade your solution, and I got you. Half-Life Weight Loss is going to help you gain your whole self back. I got you. All right. Can't wait to see you on the inside. We're back. If you want to learn more about Half-Life, you can go to www.kimarrington.com/weight loss, or you can just go into the notes, the show notes, and the links are there. The free weight loss class is there. That link's there. Going directly to Half-Life, that's there too. Getting on my private waiting list for coaching, that's there too. Let's keep talking about it. Let's talk about the other thing, is your belief. If you believe you'll never lose weight, this is going back to the brain. Your brain will continually search your environment for evidence. If you believe that losing weight is possible, your brain will continually search your environment for evidence. I know which one I chose. I know which one I choose every day. My brain knows it's possible to be at this weight, go lower if I want to. My brain knows that's possible. Your brain is a golden retriever. When I was growing up, there was a golden retriever. I think every time I tell a story, I give it a different name. Let's just call the golden retriever Dusty. And Dusty's owner would throw rocks, and Dusty would bring those rocks back. Even if poor Dusty's tongue was bleeding, Dusty would bring those rocks back. And I remember watching it and just being like, first of all, I hated that my neighbor did that, but I was a kid. So I was just kind of like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. But Rusty was like, I have a task. I'm going to do it no matter what. Hurt myself, I still have a task. Not want to do it, I still have a task. It's a habit. That's what I want you to think about with your brain. It can be a habit for you to believe your brain can solve problems. You need help. You need help. You need someone to help you with that. And it can also become a habit that your brain holds on to problems. You want the golden retriever to go not for the rocks, but for the ball that doesn't hurt the tongue. And that would be My brain knows it's possible for me to solve my problems, and it will look for evidence for solving my problems if I do that. You all know now at the end of the podcast, stay to the end, I give you an affirmation. You can repeat that affirmation over and over and over. You can repeat as much as you want. I have an app called the Parrot app. Sometimes I'll just speak into the Parrot app and I will be washing the dishes and let my affirmation go on and on and on and on. You can program your brain to believe what you want it to believe. And yes, that app, the Parrot app, is great, but the truth is a coach knows exactly how to do that and might suggest you doing the Parrot app as well. Everybody has change kryptonite. I'm going to link my episode about what's your kryptonite, but everybody, remember Superman? It's like the kryptonite opens, he loses all his power. Y'all get freaked out about change, but coaches have conditioned their brain, their golden retriever named Dusty, their brain, to know that change is a part of life, to know that it's coming, and to at least have a little bit more leeway and grace around it. Here's how to close the box, Pandora's box, close the kryptonite box, and begin to embrace change. One of the easiest things you could do is do kind of an inventory of your life and think about when you've made changes and that you've made them you've been doing them for so long that they actually are authentically you, but there was a time before you didn't do it. Like there was a time when I did not do a daily walk. There was a time that, my house would reflect how I was feeling versus it being as clean as it is now. There was a time where I didn't journal every day, and now I journal multiple times a day. Do a little inventory right now. Think about something that you've changed, and it is so you that you can't believe that you weren't doing it at one point. I mean, journaling is so me that I can't believe. And you have some things that you've been doing forever that you'll always do. Like I will always listen to books, read. That's my version of reading. I will always do that. I will always be attracted to art, visual art, music, theater. I will always do that. So I want you to think about changes you've made that have stuck around. And I want you not to have change kryptonite. Like I can't change when it comes to weight because it is possible to be unstoppable. Okay, I keep thinking about Santa Gold's song, which I love. To be unstoppable, you have to know it is possible. You gotta know that. This is a big one. This is a big one. Man, this episode should probably be all about the brain. You can't tell your brain, AKA the golden retriever. Now I want to call the golden retriever Rusty instead of Dusty. I don't know. Is the golden retriever rusted or is the golden retriever got a little dust on it? I don't know. You can't tell your brain something once and expect it to get it. I got the perfect example. Some of y'all got kids. Tell me if you could just tell them something once. You'll be like, I don't want to have to repeat myself. Neurologically speaking, you will have to repeat yourself to the little people whose brains are not developed. You are the same way, and your brain is developed. But when you are creating a new pathway in your brain, you can't tell your brain to do it once and expect you will always do it. That is kin to perfectionism. That is not how brains work. That is not how brains work. That is why Half-Life has those 13 videos. I told you I say it different because your brain can adapt, but it side-eyes you and it fights you for it at first. Your biggest organ when it comes to weight loss is your brain. Your biggest organ when it comes to sex is your brain. Your biggest organ when it comes to love is your brain. You cannot get there without making changes in your brain. Your brain is the mothership. And we don't want it getting blown up in the movie. We want it to be the friendly kind. You got to change your brain by continuing to wire it to be what you want it to be. Here's something that goes along with that. Something y'all don't know. This is why y'all can't really figure out weight loss. And you'll be like, no, my friend Kara did it. Okay, yes, go Kara. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule and rules. There are exceptions to the rules. Most of us, if we could figure it out, there wouldn't be half of us on diets right now. About 3.5 billion of us. If we were good at figuring it out, we wouldn't halfway be on a diet. There wouldn't be 126 diets in our lifetime. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to be discouraging, y'all. I'm just keeping it real deal, Holyfield. Okay. There is something, I've mentioned it before, called the hierarchy of competence. And I'm not going to go all over that. If you are in Half-Life, you will see the hierarchy of confidence so much. You will be hierarchy of confidence in your sleep. So the thing about change is it's not really real when you still have to think about it. That's on the ladder. So most of us, it's like, you saying, no, I'm not going to pay for another weight loss thing. That's wrong intuition. If you really believe the person who can lead you can give you a different story, okay? Then like wrong analysis. Well, you make the wrong decisions. You decide to do a weight loss thing that cuts out all sugar, and your ass loves sugar. You're going to be in the sugars. All that's going to do is make you crave the sugars. I mean, honestly, from a survival perspective, when you cut out sugar, your brain is going to go like haywire. I know it's all the rage, inflammation. Okay. If you follow my plan, you will naturally eat a plethora of food because you will be, dealing with other things and not using food to deal with them. And you will be tapping into your body's intelligence about what it needs. Sometimes your body might want this or might want that. And your body has intelligence. And when you're not using food to not have a difficult conversation with your Aunt Greta, then you might, I have a system. That's another thing. You need somebody who has a system. Okay. So back to this. If you have to think about it to do it, you have not completely changed. It is a rung in the ladder of change, like getting it wrong, relapsing, thinking about it. But for it to actually be change, you have to not think about it. It has to be unconscious. Unconscious is when it's automatic. It's second nature. Like for instance, I don't usually eat breakfast, but I did today, and it was yum to the yum yum, scrumptious delicious. I never eat 2 pieces of toast anymore because it's just second nature for me to get 1 piece of toast. And today I loved my toast because I split that 1 piece down the middle, and 1 piece got strawberry jam and earth balance. And the other piece was my thing to eat with my 1 egg and my sausage patty. And I left food there. That is second nature to me. I don't generally clean my plate. And not only that, I've been doing it for so long, cleaning my plate doesn't feel like second nature. The other thing is that I don't feel deprived by it. I know when to stop eating, and I created the system to help you called Half-Life. So That's where you're getting it wrong. You think you got to think more. No, you've got to go through a cycle, a process of learning a hierarchy, the English major in me, of change where you're wrong how you think, you're wrong how you feel, you're right how you think, but you have to always think about it. And sometimes you forget, you feel frustrated, but that you keep going until, yeah, it's second nature. Like, it's second nature for most of us to get up and brush our teeth. It's second nature for us to wipe our ass. Like, it's second nature. That's how change happens. You have to stick with it. That's the other thing. How to be unstoppable. You got to stick with what you're doing long enough. You got to not stop. Okay? Like, it has unstoppable built in for a reason. You got to not stop until you get to the rung of, I don't even think about it. You actually identify it as you. That's who I am. That's who I am. And then something comes up and you're like, you take it back through the process. And before long, it's who you are. That's why I know I will never be, I don't know how much I weighed, y'all. It was at least 265 pounds. I don't know. I won't be 265 pounds anymore because I don't do the behaviors that help to maintain 265 pounds of weight. And I never will, because the reasons I eat are not about the difficult conversation I have with my husband, or I'm mad at my best friend. I have the difficult conversation with my husband or my best friend. I let it go. I have a journal. I write about it, or I do a body release, or I have a system I created to help work through emotions. Because you know why? My working through emotions it was shitballs. It was shitballs. I was just talking to my friend and I was like, remember when I didn't cry? She was like, yeah. I said, do you remember when you said, you don't cry? I've never seen you cry. And I was like, yeah, I have a 2-tier minimum. And now I cried yesterday and the day before, and I didn't die. If you ain't crying, you ain't on a weight loss journey. If you're on a weight loss journey, you're going to cry. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel disappointed. You're going to look at old grief and release it. That is how a weight loss journey works. That's why you need someone to pace you, to tell you you're not crying too much. You're not crying too little. Let's work through that. I'm going to tell you that the next two are so important. Here it is from another angle. Massive action, which I feel like Tony Robbins came up with that term. I could be wrong. That's the person I first heard say it, Tony Robbins. Massive action is you don't stop until you figure it out. Like, if your kid was sick and the doctors couldn't give you an answer, and you knew in your intuition, which is what that unconscious competence is it's intuitive, in your intuition that something was still wrong, you would take your kid to all the doctors. You get on the troubleshooter. Y'all know what the troubleshooter is, where you go on the news and say, they're messing with me, they're not doing what I want to do. And then the troubleshooter goes in and gets you your money. You would do whatever it took to get an answer. But y'all will not do that shit with yourselves. You won't. You won't. You will not keep going until you figure it out. You'll stop first. That means it's not unstoppable. To be unstoppable, you have to believe in massive action. I'm going to keep going until I figure it out. That's what the beginning of this year was, when I said I got my hope back, and then I didn't stop. And I was like, no. Hope was one rung. I didn't just get my hope back. I got my knowing back now. I got my trusting back, not my trying, my trusting. I will link to last week's episode so you can understand some of what I'm saying. To be massively active is, I'm never going to give up on myself until I figure it out. You've done this in areas in your life, you've done this. Like, let's just say if you went to college, right? You were massively active until you got the diploma, Or if you dropped out, you were massively active until you got a job, or, you were massively active until you found someone who you liked and you got into a relationship. Massive action applied to yourself is the easiest way to change your life. Easiest way. This is the last one. This is the last one. And I think it's a kind of an inverse way to say massive action. And I know I talked about this earlier, that you can't really see, I don't recommend you trying to solve it on your own, but I am biased, y'all. I'm a coach. That's what I do. You can definitely feel differently about that, but I'm biased. I know I can help you get there quicker, right? Your weight loss issue isn't too big to solve. You are not the special case that it can't be solved. Now, I only got one caveat to build in that. There are certain metabolic issues, diseases, conditions that complicate weight loss. Most of us don't have that. Okay. Now, I talk about the weight loss isn't too big to solve, but there are some conditions, there are some metabolic diseases that complicate that. I want to right now talk about lymphedema. Lymphedema is a disease where it's not just a matter of weight loss. I want to make sure you hear this because I've known people who've had it. And I also know someone recently who really educated and schooled us on it can be to dangerous proportions when you're thinking that it's about you losing weight, but it's these, and I don't want to speak on it. Look up lymphedema if you want to. If you suspect you have it, please go to your medical doctor to talk about it. And you need to know that there are a couple of medical issues where weight loss is a big thing. It's hard. Or it could maybe not even be possible. Most of us do not have those things. I do want to shout that. I want to be respectful. Most of us don't have those things. Some of us do. But for those who don't have it and don't have any of the things I spoke about, weight loss is not too big to solve. It's just consistent, which y'all think is hard. Consistent is you got to keep doing it. Hard is something else. Hard is like, it can't be done. It seems almost impossible. Consistent actions over time lead to new habits, which lead to new behavior. And, I've been telling y'all that behavior is programmed, comfort is created, and y'all gonna have to learn how to be uncomfortable. That's a huge catalyst for change. This is my year where I've learned that, and I have benefited so much from allowing myself to be uncomfortable. Let me tell you, it's been good. It's been good. It's been good. So unstoppable weight loss means that you're not going to stop. You're going to try to get some help. You're not going to think you're a special case. Most of us aren't. Some of us are. And that you're going to keep plugging away at it until you get it, until it's second nature. So join me on my weight loss class, my free class that talks about the secrets to unstoppable weight loss, at least according to Coach Kim, and that's going to be, go to www.kimarrington.com/free weight class. If you missed this one, there are going to be more. If you sign up at that link, and by the way, most of the time, not all the time, I set up my email list where you sign up and then you have to go back into your inbox and verify it. So then it'll actually be delivered to you. That's about deliverability, right? That you can actually get it. So just know that most of the times it's set up that way. You will know when I'm having a class. I got to write an email today about my classes coming up to tell you all about the class and everything. so you can understand more about my system and what I teach and what I do. And I'm gonna tell y'all better please get it while it is in your price range. That's kind of all I have to say. Okay, I told you every podcast I'm gonna close it out with an affirmation, something you can repeat as many times as you want. You can go on YouTube and learn all about affirmations and how to do it. I do this a lot, especially if I'm stuck in a place. I will repeat what I want to hear. So this week's affirmation is, there is always a solution available to me. There is always a solution available to me. There is always a solution available to me. I want you all to repeat that this week. There's always a solution available to me. And then your subconscious mind goes about the business of trying to find the solution. Okay. This year is like, ease on down the road. I almost did RESPECT. Okay, anyway, I love y'all. I mean it. I want y'all to have the lives you want. You know what my affirmation was today? I have the life I want, because I do. I have the exact life I want and so much more. My affirmation was actually, I have the exact life I want and so much more. That was my affirmation that I had parroted back to me. I will put the parrot app in the notes too. I will see y'all next week. This year is getting on out of here. It's going to be Turkey Day soon. Can't wait. Y'all have a good week. Come back next week and see me. Go grab another podcast. Go in the show notes and listen to the podcast that I list. Love you. Mean it. Have a great day.
Are you feeling what you just heard? Good. Repeat after me. You don't have to figure it out on your own again anymore. I'm here to help. Head over to KimArrington.com and download my free video series dedicated to getting you feeling your best right now. Look around, there's some good stuff waiting on you. Got questions? Well, we're always talking on the socials, so find me on YouTube, Insta, and the book. Don't be shy, y'all. Go listen to another episode or join me here the same time next week. Finally, don't keep good shit to yourself. Share this with a homie that could use some help too. Remember, we're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not lying to our doctors. And you damn sure don't lie to your life